everybody. Today is Sunday and it is a very rainy April showers kind of spring day in Denver, so I thought that it would be fun to sit down with you guys and talk about Erin Condren Notebooks. So as you may know, the Erin Condren team re-released their notebooks. I believe it was March 25th, so about a month ago, and I have received mine and I wanted to show you how I am using each one. So I have kind of a variety. I have kind of all of the options in these three notebooks, so you can kind of get an idea of how I'm using them and kind of what you can expect if you choose to order one. And then, yeah, hopefully get you some ideas on how you might want to incorporate a notebook into your own kind of planning routine. So a lot of you have said, you know, I'm not a student, I almost wish I was so I could use one of these notebooks. You don't have to be a student to use a notebook. I am like a paper junkie, of course. You are watching Paper and Glam, right? That shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, but I love having my notebooks. I swear, I think probably, if I'm honest, I probably have about 6 different notebooks going at a time. If you count my planner and my Project Life planner, it is about 6. I also have a journal, and then I have notes that I am taking for my book, which I don't have like a book coming out by any means, but I started actually writing this book years ago, but I just have always kept notes in another notebook. And then I have, actually it's not a notebook, it's a planner. So it actually was on the blog today, but you know, so I have kind of various paper things that are all kind of performing different functions in my life. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak today. It's like one of those days. Oh my goodness. So yeah, in addition to those 4, I also have these 3 that I'm about to show you that are Erin Condren spiral notebooks that I will take you inside each one. You know what? I actually just realized I have 8 because I also have the Paper and Glam You Better Work notebook that I use for work. So I use that for like my daily to-do list for work, work like my 9-to-5 job, and just kind of like to keep motivated. And it just, I don't know, it just helps me kind of honor my job and, you know, give them the time that they deserve, and, you know, that my team and my bosses is worthy of course. And yeah, it just inspires me to do well. So on a side note, if you are wondering about the pop-in pens, I get a lot of questions on every video, and each of the Paper and Glam notebooks are coming with pop-in pens if you want to try one. So they're in the thumbnail for this video, and so I know that I will get some questions most likely because they are my very favorite pen, and they come in so many fun colors that they kind of, I think, attract a little attention, and they're a little bit different than some of the pens that we have seen kind of in the past, because Pop-In's like a relatively new brand. So with that, let's go ahead and go through each of my notebooks. So first I'm going to give you an overview of what each is and how I'm using it, and then we will kind of adjust the angle and go and do the inside my notebook piece. So the first one, and the glare is going to be really bad, so bear with me. So the first one is, you'll notice I put my Redefine Success cover on this one because, as you probably know, if you've watched my videos in the past, I have uncoiled my Erin Condren planner, and so I have a lot of these interchangeable covers that I had originally been using on my life planner, but now that I have the 7x9 on the go notebook, it's perfect because I can just use them on here. So I haven't cut any more of my planners than the one that I did in that tutorial, just because I really want to use them, or planner covers, excuse me, because I really want to use them on these notebooks. So that's my plan. So the first one, excuse me, I'm like having a day today, you guys. Okay, so I can't speak and my nose keeps running. All right, so the first one is, this is the basic notebook. So the one criticism I have, or feedback, I guess criticism is such like a inflammatory word, is that, as you can see, this is the basic notebook and the coil really isn't full. So that is something that I would have expected a full coil. That's the one thing, because you would think, like, as you're using your notebook, I'm sure you're ripping pages out, and, you know, yeah, I just would have expected a little bit of a flare coil, but, you know, it's not a deal breaker for me. So this is a basic notebook. As I've mentioned, it's just simply, you know, your basic on-the-go notebook, and I have been using this one for the notes that I have taken for the Glampire chat. So if you follow what Alexis Miss Trenchcoat and I have been doing recently, or we started last month, is we've been having a Glampire chat, and that is our effort to kind of address a lot of the questions we get and have an open forum and a dialogue about business stuff where you guys can join live, ask your questions, and yeah, hang out with us once a month. It's the first Wednesday of the month, so we have another one coming up, and So I, like to be prepared. I want to make it worth your time, all of the time that you spend with me. I want to make worth your time, and sometimes I come off a little more business than I necessarily want to in like a fun context, I guess, because YouTube is fun. Like it's a hobby for me, and I just love connecting with you guys, and it's a calling, I would say, too. So sometimes when I have information to convey, I only have like one speed, right? I have on and I have off, like being type awesome. So if I'm on, like I have notes, I'm prepared. I don't know, that's just, I've always been raised, and I take everything I do seriously. So I have notes for everything. I'm on time, I'm prepared, I'm ready to roll. So that's the first notebook, and we'll get a closer look at it here in a minute. The second notebook, this is the one I'm probably most excited about, and this is like a beautiful spring cover. So this one I'm using for book club. So speaking of being prepared, so in the last book club, I think part of it was that I didn't get super into our March book. It's been like a smash hit on the bestseller list, so I definitely wanted to get Amy Poehler's book on this lineup, but it wasn't a book that necessarily like spoke a ton to me. So I wouldn't say read it half-heartedly by any means, but like I didn't like really hit my stride with it, and I wasn't quite as prepared for book club as I would have liked to have been. And I also am a huge book nerd, so I love to write down quotes and kind of lessons learned from books that I read. So one of the notebooks I have that I mentioned, or planners that I have that I mentioned a minute ago, is the one that I have for my book, is like anything that I am reading that really has inspired me or kind of taught me something about life, I'll write it down in my planner notebook that I have been using to kind of just bring ideas for this book that I want to publish in a land far, far away. So, I've been working on it actually since 2008, so it's been a long time, and I have no intentions of publishing it in the near future. So, all that to say, I want to use this notebook as kind of a place to record what I've read and to look back and kind of see the different quotes and things that have inspired me. And maybe they didn't teach me anything about life. Maybe I wasn't like, wow, this really made me think about life differently, or this really taught me something, or shaped my perspective. But maybe it's just fun. And, like Vanity Fair, there's so many references to Shakespeare, and just, he has definitely cynical observations about life, Thackeray, but he also has some really fun allusions to like the Iliad and the Odyssey and Shakespeare, and like all of some great literature that had already been written when he was writing, which was the 1800s. So I'm a huge nerd, so I like to kind of record that stuff. So I'll show you that one in just a minute. And this one is actually a deluxe 7x9 notebook. So, and the previous one was a basic 7x9 notebook. So I do have the calendar in this one. And so I'm going to show you in just a minute how I'm using this one. So as you can see with the calendar, it's a little bit thicker. It's definitely a little bit more substantial. So if nothing else, I really like that. And this is, since it's the deluxe, I also have the pocket and then like keep it together folder that comes in the life planner. So this one feels a little bit more like a life planner. And the reason I hadn't gotten one of these before is because I thought that it was a little too close to the life planner. I didn't really see a need for a notebook in addition to my life planner, but of course, being the paper junkie that I am, as things have evolved, I found a use. So, lastly, and this, design-wise, this is probably the notebook that I'm most proud of. It's like really kind of bulky though. Not bulky, that's like a negative, but she's a big girl. So, this is my Paper and Glam notebook, and I'm not going to hold it up for a super long time because the lights and the glare. I'll show it to you when we get on kind of a flat plane here. This is my 8.5 by 11 deluxe notebook without the calendar. So this one has my dividers in it. It has, your keep it together folder and all of the kind of accoutrement that comes with a deluxe notebook. But this one I've just been using for ideas for Paper and Glam, for the Glam shop, all the stickers that I plan to create that are eventually coming out. Who knows what I'll get to it. I only have 24 hours in the day like everyone else. So sometimes I feel like I mention things that I'm working on and I almost set too much of an expectation because I don't know, I don't know when I'll be able to execute. It kind of depends what's happening, like I'm sure all of you guys as well. So anyway, this is kind of my Paper and Glam notebook. So this is a collage, as you can see, and I just created this collage in Photoshop Elements, and then I uploaded it using the Picture This template, which is the same template that you use to create the Glambition notebook covers or planner covers if you choose to have Erin Condren print it for you, and I do just because I think that's easier. I'm always probably going to go for the option that does the heavy lifting for me and comes to my house as opposed to the DIY. I'm not a huge DIY girl like we've talked about before. I'm more of a buy it yourself girl and save a little time, just because that's the situation I'm in right now. I definitely have, I kind of unfortunately live in a little bit of a time famine, which I really work hard to reverse, but time is definitely precious to me, so if there's an option that will come to my house and be done, well, I'm all about it. So that's kind of an overview of each of my notebooks, and I hope that's helpful as we kind of go in and take a peek inside each. First notebook, this is the Redefined Success notebook that I said I was using to kind of house notes for the Glampire chat. This is the basic notebook, 7x9, like I mentioned earlier. So you just have this first page that says take note, and then I have the notes from the last Glampire chat, which was on starting your side hustle. So yeah, I'm just always wanting to make sure that I'm prepared. So those were my notes, and then I will continue kind of brainstorming. The next one's going to be on branding. So if you have any questions on branding or things that you want us to for sure cover in the Glampire chat, especially if you can't attend live, definitely leave those down below so Alexis and I can start kind of brainstorming, making sure that we're covering everything that you guys are curious about with regard to branding. So pretty straightforward. Just it has, it has lined paper, and then it has your blank paper, and then in the back, that's kind of a wrap. It just says, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. I guess you might be sad if you finish your notebook, I'm not sure. So that's that. All right, next one. Okay, this is the one that I would say I'm most excited about, and this is the one I'm using for book club. So this is the deluxe 7x9. So it has kind of the same thing in the front, and then it has a calendar. So I did add a calendar, and adding a calendar is $15. So that was an additional cost, but I think it's reasonable just because, all of the Erin Condren stuff is really, it's just well done. And so this one, as we can see, it's a bit more substantial. The coil's pretty close to full, which it really isn't on the basic. So I started my calendar in January, and this is like a huge book nerd thing. So I am keeping track of my reading in here. I also have it in my planner, which you've seen in my Inside My Planner videos, but this I schedule out like about a month in advance so I can make sure I'm staying on schedule for reading, because we are biting off quite a bit of reading for the Paper and Glam Book Club, and while you are not required to read, any of the books or all of them, or, choose your adventure on that, but I of course want to read all of them because it is, Paper and Glam Book Club, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping pace with that. So I just adjusted the angle. So I have my reading for the month. So January, you'll notice I don't have January filled out because I was actually finishing Unbroken up here. So that was kind of a book I counted towards last year in my reading, and I think I read 24 books last year maybe. It's on Goodreads, but this year I'm trying to bite off a little more reading. So I have Girl Boss and then Love Rosie. So this is, again, the calendar. So this next one has a cute quote. So keep your head up, keep your heart strong. We go into February, and this is, so I'm like not all the way done with this notebook by any stretch, and you'll see that. And I'll probably have to do a video on like my literary notebook when I finish it. Maybe at the end of the year I'll do one. I think that'd be fun. So I just this is a rough draft of how you'll see me use it. So it has like Love Rosie and all of my reading schedule or what I read. I need to go back and get the chapters because actually I only write down what pages I'm reading in my planner, so I actually lent the duff to a friend. So, and here I actually was going to put the Paper and Glam Book Club stickers, so I thought it'd be fun to like have a visual representation of the books I read during the month too. And if you're reading along with Paper and Glam Book Club, then those are free online on the Glam shop. So here's March, do more of what makes you happy. And then we have, I read Yes Please and Serena, so I'm just kind of starting, and these are the date stickers that come with the calendar. So when you get a calendar, you get the dot date stickers. You can buy them separately as well, but they come with the calendar, so that's cool. I haven't found a use for this side, which is jot down your lists, goals, and to-dos for the month. Obviously, I'm not quite using it in that context, so I haven't found a use for this page, but definitely let me know if you have any ideas. Then we have April, and says sometimes the best thing you can do is not think, not obsess, just breathe. So this is very filled out because I've been using it, right? So I have my Vanity Fair reading, and I'm actually just ever so slightly behind. So I should be like on the 3rd chapter of DVF, but I'm actually just still finishing Vanity Fair. So I'm close on the heels of my schedule though, so that's exciting. So this is like my first month of actual planning, so you can tell it's neat because I'm not going back and kind of reconstructing it based on my calendar. So here's May. You can do anything but not everything. So I already have May all scheduled out, so that's exciting. And of course I'm using the Stradler pens, or I don't know how you say it. You guys can correct me if you want. I have those. pens that I've been matching with the Erin Condren color scheme, and I'll link those below if you haven't seen them. I constantly get asked what my favorite pens are, and they're the Statler pens, hands down, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. All right, so June, I'm going to try and go through this so we can do it quickly. So it feels good to be lost in the right direction. And of course, we haven't gotten to June yet. We're nowhere close. Keep going no matter what. July, August, you are much stronger than you think. Life is not about finding yourself. It is about creating yourself. September, October, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So true. October. It's November, start each day with a grateful heart. A classic. And you could also totally use this for a gratitude journal too. I think that's like an epically genius idea, and I thought about doing it because you could put something you're thankful for each day. I just didn't want like another obligation for each day. I like to kind of just do it. I don't know. You've seen it in my previous videos, but essentially in the planner, I'm using it like on this note section that is I'm using this note section as a gratitude journal in my actual life planner. So then we get to December, believe you can, and you're halfway there. So that's the month. And then so I haven't filled this out, like we said, because I didn't have this notebook yet, but I have all the quotes highlighted in my books because I highlight in my books. That's one of the reasons I buy so many books, because I write and I highlight in them. And some people are like, oh my gosh, you need to follow your books, but I'm a book lover. Like if it's not highlighted in and written in, then it's not well loved in my collection, at least. It means I haven't read it probably. And then we have Love Rosie, Not That Kind of Girl, The Duff. So I just did a page for each. Yes, please. And I also have the publication year underneath, and Serena. And then Vanity Fair, we get to where I'm actually using it. So Vanity Fair was published in a series from 1847 to 1848, and we have my favorite quotes and the date I read them. So I'm just kind of still getting the party started here, but you get the idea. So the rest is just line pages, and then of course we have the blank pages, and then the same kind of setup. And then this one actually comes with stickers. So I haven't found quite a use for these. I'll probably just use them in my life planner. I do have an idea for you that I'll show you in this last notebook, the 8.5 by 11 one, but it does come with stickers. Keep together folder. And then of course it comes with the labels that the life planners come with. So when they match, they're the same as like the cover you get. So these butterflies are like perfect for spring. So yeah, perfect. And then these leopard print ones. I love that colorful leopard print one. So a gift for you. Happy birthday. Just little something. Enjoy, to, from, and yeah, so more of the same. So that is the labels. And if you guys have ordered a life planner, it's the same story. So same story there. So, all right, let's go to the last notebook, which is an 8.5 by 11 deluxe, and I also have custom dividers that I've created for that one. This one I haven't quite found an official use for yet, so you guys can tell me if you have any ideas, but this one I just really loved. I wanted it to be paper and glam themed, and that's actually a lot of my favorite shots from last year, 2014. So this is my pool, and of course the Sprinkles Cupcake ATM. This is the cover for the Paper and Glam group on Facebook, and then this is probably one of my all-time favorite Bible verses. It just means so much to me. It's from Colossians, and it says, so then, just as you received Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live in him, rooted and built up in him and overflowing with thankfulness. So, you know, staying rooted in the Lord and staying rooted in his love is so important for just stability in life, and for just remembering, you know, what's important and who decides your worth. You know, we all deal with rejection, and we all deal with, you know, anytime you put yourself out there, whether you're going to work or you're, you know, doing YouTube or doing something creative, you put yourself out there, right? And people are going to have an opinion, because that's just how life works. And so we all face, you know, rejection, and people who think we're great and people who think that we're not. And, you know, all of that to say, we can't let like the opinions of the world, or, you know, even our own opinion of ourselves, which is at times the worst, affect how we perceive ourselves, because the Lord, we are all, you know, sons and daughters of God, and he sent his only son to die for us. We mean so much to him. So that's just a reminder to me to be rooted in him and to be rooted in his love, and have everything I do in life flow out of that. And then of course to be overflowing with thankfulness. And that just is a reminder, which is pretty simple, just to keep a grateful heart, and to just really remember to go through my day and be grateful for every moment. You know, even the to-do list comes out of the fact that I have, you know, a career that I need to be grateful for, or, you know, the taxes I need to do, is because, again, I can pay my bills, and that's a privilege. So I try to look at everything in life through that context of gratitude. So, or the lens of gratitude. And these were from, I think, like spring last year, and this is from the main official home tour from last year that I did with my Casita Living, which was so fun. So this is the first page, of course. This was a blog post that I started, and then I never finished it. It's on working from home. I'll do it eventually, but who knows? It will be quite a while in the future. So here I have a dashboard from Planner Kate, and these are my top 10 books, which is like a huge request. I get that all the time. What are my favorite 10 books? So that's the list. Eventually I'll probably do a video on it, or I will do a video on it just because it's so requested. These are all your video requests. Well, it's not all of them, but I started categorizing them because I kind of wanted to make a list of like where they fell, because I wanted to kind of understand like where your interests lie so that I can show you what you want to see. So I have another method of keeping track of these days, and that's on my editorial calendar, which you saw in the last planner video. But here's an idea for your stickers that come with your notebooks. Let me make sure that's in frame. So you can fold them over and fold them in half and then like write on them. So you do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do like the months. So that's an idea. You can kind of make little tabs on your notebook if you want. So that's probably the coolest thing I thought of to do with these. So these are just lined pages, and there's nothing really to see. Here I have my IT packing list. So that is like everything I want to take when I go on work trips. So now we come to my first custom divider. And so originally, so this is like, again, huge nerd. So I have this fear that I won't like have enough time to read all the books that I want to read. So this is a recurring fear of mine. And I am just such a book nerd, and I love to read. So I wrote a list of every single book that is in my library unread or that I want to read. So it's a huge list of all of my favorite books, and it finishes with 610. So I got to 610, and these are like all the books I want to read. So in like life, and then I also all of them that I have read. So it's like a running list of all the books that I've read all the way up through, I think it goes up through 2014. Yeah, it goes up through 2014. That's when I stopped. So that's exciting. I mean, I didn't stop. I just haven't updated it in like hard copy. So yeah, and then these are all the books to movies that I want to see, that I want to read the book and watch the movie. So I just have a list going. Gone with the Wind, I think, will be a classic for the Paper and Glam book club. Probably next year, but we'll see. I don't like hold me to that. And like Vanity Fair is top of the list. Of course, I just watched the movie and it was great, and we're reading that now. So just more things I've been using my binder for, and my notebook for. So next I kind of had a list on my list to get better at photography. Luckily, my friendship with Alexis has really helped. She's given me some great advice, and actually it kind of came down to just a lens issue. I needed to invest in another lens, which if it was a 50mm 1.8 lens. So when I ordered this notebook, I had aspirations of taking some photography classes, and you know, who knows, I still might, but that's why I ordered this divider. And there's nothing in there because I haven't done it yet. And then this is like the quote-unquote dry erase board. For me, using like wet erase pens or Sharpies in my planner, it's not for me, just because I don't want to have to deal with erasing it. So, but you could use this as a whiteboard too. I like to just like stick notes on it. And then lastly, if you've watched kind of my resolutions video, then you know I was thinking about studying for the GMAT this year and applying to USC, and I've just been praying about that since the beginning of the year. Well, I've been praying about that for, gosh, maybe 3 years, and I thought this was kind of like now or never. Not now or never, but I thought this was game time. So I did do a GMAT prep divider, and I've decided not to take the GMAT this year and not to apply to USC, just because I just don't think that's where the Lord is having me go. So I started writing my USC essay because that's who I am, and I had already started my admissions essay. And then these are all the stickers that I have created for the Glam shop that I need to get up, and like these are like all the sticker sets that are coming out. I'm not going to go through them all because I want them to be a surprise. These actually, and I probably still will do a sticker set for these, but these are like all the dates that you see in my life list. So yeah, that I think is all. And here I have like the USC requirements for admission. In here we have another little pocket with the labels that comes with it. I won't go through those just because I went through them in the last one. And then this is the pocket that I made. So this is a pocket. It's a post-it pocket I got from Target, and I just stuck it on the back of here, and then I put all of my extra planner stickers in here that I have made that I probably I'm not using right now. So I made a bunch for going home, which you have seen, and this is like the Santa Monica Pier. So I'm not going to LA in the near future, so I have those in here. And then I also made some, like one of my favorite books is Doing Greatly, which I'm thinking about putting on the list for next year. I actually had it on the list for March this year, and I took it off and I put Yes Please on. And I'm kind of bummed that I did that because Brene Brown is just, she's everything. So all that to say, I have some book stickers here, and I have Vanity Fair, like this is from the book club stickers, and these are available in the Glam shop. So just in case you're not catching what I'm throwing, if you haven't seen one of my videos in the past and you haven't seen the stickers that I make, so eventually, ultimately, these will go, so, oh, that's that's January. It won't go in January, but you guys probably get the idea either way. So what I want to do is put it here, right? I want to put all the books that I've read down this column. So I probably will read about, in a perfect world, well, this month, April, I would have read 3 books. So I had an Easter devotional, Vanity Fair, DVF. Yeah, I guess so I will have 3 because I won't quite get to the longest ride. But theoretically, I should have about 3 or 4. So they'll fit almost perfectly down this column, and I measured because that's who I am. So you could get 4 down that column if you're like really killing it and you're reading like a book a week, which I aspire to get there hands down. So those are my notebooks. And I just realized I didn't show you the back of my notebooks. So the back will match the front unless you decide to get a picture on it. So just for fun, I got a picture on the back of this one, and it's just of my library, which you guys see me filming in every week. So you guys have seen that before, but I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you did choose to get a picture. And this one's actually this was from the official quote unquote home tour that I did last year. So, and the next home tour will be the official annual home tour. So it's got some more decor and stuff, and I had things laid out a little bit differently. So it's from last year, which is why my library might look different. But yeah, it's her. It's my favorite place to be. So I hope you enjoyed this peek inside my notebooks. You guys have to tell me, am I the only one that matches their notebooks to their pens? I don't know. I might be a nerd. Oh my gosh, I just dropped it. But if you match your notebooks to your pens, you have to show me with #paperandglam, because I just want to know if you guys do that too. But I'm a dork. I even got the variety pack, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have an orange one for Halloween. And I was all excited because there's different colors. So yeah, you have to tell me if you guys match your pens to your notebooks too. But I mean, how well does this match? It's awesome. It's like they're made for each other. So it's these pens, I was so excited when I found them because they are literally the exact color of what I call Paper and Glam pink, which is this dark pink that I use to design everything. So I love when things match. So anyway, so the giveaway. So thank you so much, first off, to the Erin Condren team for sending over these notebooks. So it's a privilege to work with you guys, and you have inspired me so much. And yeah, thank you, Sam and the media team. But to pay it forward to you guys, I definitely want to give away 4 notebooks. They will be given away from paperandglam.com. So go over to the post for this video, and that will be in the description bar below, and leave a comment, and that will enter you to win a notebook. Definitely leave your email though, because I need a way to contact you if you win. So I can only see the email, everyone else cannot see it, but definitely leave your email so I can let you know if you won. This giveaway will run through next Friday, so I don't know what the date is. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I'll put it in the description box. So next Friday, and I think it's the very beginning of May, so a week from today if you are watching this in the future. And yeah, date will go below. Didn't plan ahead quite so well on that one. So most of my giveaways will be from paperandglam.com, just because there are some giveaway rules on YouTube that I don't necessarily quite want to subscribe to. So one of them is that you must be 18 years of older to win. So I trust that you guys will not hurt yourself with an Erin Condren notebook, and that you are responsible and will use your notebook to its highest and best use, and you will not paper cut yourself on the notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not dangerous for me to give one away to someone who is under 18, and so I'm going to do that from paperandglam.com. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was fun just to kind of be a paper junkie with me. The next few videos, I'm not sure which one will go up, other than the weekend vlog will go up, of course, but it's either going to be what's in my bag, project life, or a video on kind of spending time with the Lord and kind of my routine for Bible study. So that's a huge request, and one I definitely want to get up, especially now that we have gotten Glam, which is the Paper and Glam Bible study, which I'll link below, and we'll talk about in the very near future, kind of in detail. So that's what's on the horizon. I'm not quite sure exactly which one will go up next, but those are kind of the next few. It kind of depends how Project Life is going, because it's definitely taking me a little longer than I wanted to, mainly because I wanted to get it to be I just want it to be awesome for you guys. So I try to remind myself done is better than perfect, but with Project Life, I'm just such a memory keeper by nature that it's kind of hard for me to not go into my all or nothing mode with it. So, but I'm going to show it to you very soon, and it'll cover the first quarter of the year. So it maybe April, depending on how things go. So with that, I hope that you guys are having an amazing weekend, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.